the thing that it is very interesting to see in our country here in US, we weren't expecting to see this kind of a tendencies towards authoritarian regime, a dictator wannabe in power, and so many people bowing to him and making it possible for him to move.
Right. Welcome back to Around the Districts. I'm Gabrielle Mazar. We are here again with AJ. He is the owner of Home Mart Furniture in Chandler. What we're going to talk about in this episode is a little bit about what's going on with this authoritarian adjacent regime we've got going on here. But AJ is from Turkey, and he sees a lot of parallels in the government with what happened in Turkey and what's happening now. My mom is obsessed with like World War II. My grandparents fought in World War II. So I know quite a bit about that as well. So seeing what happened then, in the 20s, 30s, 40s, going up to World War II, is very, very similar. We see the demonizing of the media, the disenfranchisement of elections, and, trying to say that elections are fraudulent, taking away rights of women and minorities and demonizing them as well. So those are just a few things, but going a little bit about yourself and Turkey and growing up in Turkey and kind of what you saw happening.
Well, thank you for having me here. The thing that it is very interesting to see in our country here in US, we weren't expecting to see this kind of a tendencies towards authoritarian regime, a dictator wannabe in power, and so many people bowing to him and making it possible for him to move forward. And we've seen this in other countries, as I said, like in Turkey, democracy. We have a democracy. It's good. We have elections. We have press, free press, I should say. But with the current administration, which is in power for more than 20 years right now, the quality of life in Turkey is going down because of what's happening in the democratic front. Number one thing, as soon as this administration, over the 20 years, I shouldn't say as soon as, but throughout the earlier time, they tried immediately to control the press. Right. Either coming down on them by lawsuits, using the power of government to go after their business interest, or going after the journalists one by one, targeting them.
Which we're absolutely seeing right now.
It's happening.
100%.
Yeah. Or
because what only what was it? OAN is allowed in the Pentagon
right now, yeah.
So we're trying to control the press, saying you have to only report on this and you can't say this and you can't do that, which freedom of speech is kind of one of the things we were founded on and what the right preaches about. And here you are taking away that freedom of press. Yeah. So, that's number one.
That's number one. And they also go certain journalists and threatening them, or they are literally putting them in jail. And then that creates a fear on the others, and they go under self-regulate.
Yeah.
They self-censor themselves about what they can talk about. The other thing that they do is making sure that businesses change hands and try to concentrate power in the hands of their friends. And they start with the media again.
Right.
They try to push with different ways to make sure that the current owners sell those businesses to their friends. And they have different ways to do that. And we see that also happening in our country.
Right. And like we saw with the purchase of Paramount Plus, they weren't going to allow that purchase to go through. And the Ellisons just purchased that. And there's some other things going on as well with media and mergers and purchases that are pretty questionable as well. So we definitely see that happening also.
Of course, right now, when we say media, we can't forget the social media. And we know that how big companies, day one, they just went out there and they tried to do everything possible to be on the good side of current administration.
And the purchase of TikTok, they're trying to push that through as well.
That's also, I believe, going through the Ellison family.
Oh, is it?
And they're going to control.
So now you're controlling all media outlets that go out, which is what we see in Russia. Yep. Russia has only media that is favorable to Putin. They do not allow any media that is not favorable to him. And we've seen some people be unalived because of that.
Again, they're trying to get into it. Doesn't even have to be the whole press.
Right.
If they reach to a critical level of ownership or favorable media, then all the bets are off, because this is the problem. When you have so many people getting their information from one-sided sources, when it comes to election time, it will be very difficult to change their mind, because they have been hearing day in and day out for so many years.
But even when we talk about elections, they try to disenfranchise voters by saying that elections are fraudulent, saying that, voters are illegal voters, that people aren't citizens that are voting. So they try to get people to not even bother to vote, or they're trying to control elections. Again, like in Russia, they have elections.
Oh, they do, yeah.
And I mean, Putin wins every time. Does he really win? Or are they intimidating voters outside of the voter polls? It's all of these things that they're doing to control what people are doing. And we talked about on another episode about resistance and how that can help. But, when they're trying to control all these things, especially in the media, if all you're seeing is certain things and all these algorithms as well that are coming to you and only showing you specific things, you believe it. I watched this TikTok podcast of a gentleman and his sister who are very liberal, and they speak to their parents. I'm sure a ton of people have seen it. But he even has Fox News on in the background. And even when they bring up valid points, the mother will say, well, that's a valid point, but, well, that's this. And the dad just says, nope, because all he's doing is it's on 24/7. So you're being fed exactly what they want you to believe. They want you to believe that elections are fraudulent. They want you to believe that, everything that Trump is doing is the right thing. Yeah. Even tearing down a national, historical building.
That's
insane. Whether or not he wants to build this ballroom, the fact of the matter is that house does not belong to him. Nope. And the argument that, Obama built a basketball court and, whoever did what, is not the same. Is not the same. This isn't a renovation of a basketball court. This is a $200 and something million ballroom for a man that's only supposed to be there for 4 years. For what?
Yeah. You're absolutely right. I mean, the playbook is basically what they do, and this is the most sad and difficult part, is that they put fear and doubt in everybody's heart.
Right.
We came to a point in our society that no one trusts anyone. Mm-hmm. We don't trust each other. We don't trust the institution. We don't trust the media. So when you have this kind of a scared and doubtful masses, and then you control the media,
right,
it is very easy to sway their opinion.
Right.
And that is the difficult part. You mention your friends' parents, they always come up with, what about this?
Yeah,
or
what about
but,
it? Right.
Comma, they talk about
right.
this. And it came to a point that we need to trust institution. We need to trust the media because we're not going to have our own. Each of us will
Right.
go out and count the votes, see the ballots, or try to understand medicine if COVID
Whole
vaccine is
other-
good or not. We just need to trust. But they killed the trust in our community, and that makes it so hard for our community to move forward.
Right.
And it's not just a U.S. issue that we're seeing this in other countries as well, in Europe, in Asia. There is that. Again, everybody is using this authoritarian regime playbook, and they move forward.
I mean, we saw it in Hungary,
with that.
we've
Yeah.
seen it in Turkey, we've seen it in, I think, Italy is starting to get a little,
Yeah, funny out there. And I really, it is a scary position. And I said before, the only thing that can stop this is people being on the streets. The very good thing about U.S. With our system and everything, we used to trust the institutions, and we had people in powerful position, either
Right.
On the judicial system or the lawmakers or anybody else. They used to see right or wrong and make their decision on that without, regardless of who was in power.
Right.
If we lose that, we're starting to lose that. You see lawmakers.
Well, I think that they very much have that rhetoric and have for many, many years to sow doubt in the government. And I think, I've had the conversation about, officials. Oh, they're all corrupt. They're corrupt on both sides. Da, 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 da. Listen, I don't think honestly, being a politician and being in politics and being politically active, it's work. And you don't get into it.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. But I don't think any politician has ever gone into politics for fame and fortune. I do believe that politicians, but some, but not most.
No.
Because most people have a reason
Absolutely.
that they're doing it. They have a purpose that they're getting into it. I think now it's become very evident that there might be more sinister reasons for it, because we see, the very alt-right Christian MAGA people that are getting into it. And I think it's very hate and fear driven than it used to be. Even though Republicans and Democrats may not have gotten along, they could find a common ground. And I feel like now there really isn't. But I don't believe that most politicians, because we're talking all levels, from city, state, county, all the way up to federal. How many people you think all those people are corrupt? You think all those people got into politics because they want to be famous or have millions of dollars? No, they do it because they want to serve their community and serve the people. Yeah. And that's what it's about.
Especially on the local level. Yes, I 100% agree on that.
So sowing doubt in government and this rhetoric and repetitiveness of, the government's corrupt, politicians are corrupt, it's politics. Media is corrupt. The elections are corrupt. Is very much within their playbook to sow doubt in people, to get you to not vote or to not be active or to just be fearful and think.
Not to trust anyone.
Not to trust anyone.
To your neighbors, not to trust your local organization, local government. And then it's very easy to control those people when you send them a fearful message.
Right.
And then you keep staying in power.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part. We have to stop that. And it starts on the local level. You got to have people who are in it not to serve themselves, not to be a career politicians, but who are out there to sacrificing to serve their community.
Right.
And also trust them.
Right.
And also we have to trust our neighbors and everything, start talking about it. And that is very important part, in my opinion.
I think it's easier for people to trust at a smaller level, at more the local level, than you do at the federal level because you see and know these people in your community. But that definitely is where we need to start. And I think it is terrifying. Like I said, I have my grandparents fought in World War II, and they
Which
fought
country?
against this. They were in the Slovenian Partisan Army.
Okay.
My great aunt was in a Slovenian prison camp for 3 years, and at the end of the war, she was murdered. They lined everybody up and stabbed them with bayonets and pushed them into the river. Hundreds and hundreds of people. So this is very much personal. I mean, it is terrifying to think that might be the direction that we go, that I have family that fought and lost their lives to prevent this from happening. And here we are in the United States that we never thought this would happen. But I think, everyone that has experienced that is no longer with us. So they don't know.
That is an important point, yes.
But people from other countries who have experienced this do know. And I think people like you do need to speak up and talk about it and voice that and let people know that this is a very serious threat, because the people that it hurts the most is anybody that's not making multi-millions of dollars.
Exactly.
Everyone that's in the lower 90% suffers.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Thank you for
because
saying that.
The money goes down from the people down in the 90% up, and in authoritarian governments, everyone loses except those people. Yep. And that is, that is just fact. There is no way around it. So, yes, we have to continue to do things to stand up for this, to talk about it, and to share those experiences personally, because that's what's going to make it.
We need to be out there. We need to resist. We need to help people who are resisting. We need to stand with the people in either the local elected officials or local officials, not elected ones, and stand with them when they are taking courageous decisions, because it is very easy to get along with this regime and saying, yes, it will make your life easier, but at the end, country will lose it. So
and I think it's even more terrifying.
Support them.
I think it's even more terrifying now. I mean, who was the official whose house just burnt down? They burned down her house in Wisconsin. I don't remember. Pennsylvania, somewhere.
Well, they attacked Pennsylvania governor's home.
Yeah.
So there was that. We had 2 local state legislature
Hortman and her husband and their dog. Yeah, who knows?
These are the stuff that we weren't used to see in this country.
Never. We would never see. I mean, I'm sorry, not never. I mean, Gabby Giffords was shot, obviously, so it did happen, but it was few and far between, where now we're seeing this on a regular basis, and we're normalizing it. And we cannot normalize any of this. We cannot normalize the social media that our president puts out and our vice president. These are our top officials putting out absolutely abhorrent, disgusting rhetoric and behavior, and we cannot normalize it.
I had one thing where we came to a point in the world, not just here, nothing is serious anymore.
Yeah, but it's
unseriousness coming from to the top of the country. Like, can you imagine a top of the government, the president, putting a video out there, a caricature or AI, whatever, him wearing a crown
and dumping feces on his own people.
And we are okay with laughing at it.
We're not. It's not a joke. It's not funny.
And then his minions out there saying that, he's using social media great.
No.
Yeah. That is not right. No. This is unacceptable, incomprehensible, but this is where we are at this point of time, and it's sad. We just have to do everything we can to stop this unseriousness, I would say. Yeah.
Well, AJ, thank you for sharing a little bit of your experience. And, I think we definitely have to get it out there that this is part of a playbook. This has happened in history.
It is a playbook, yes.
It is not just in one country. This was not just World War II. This has happened in many, many countries, and we don't want to see it happen to us. So
no, absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you. Yeah.
I appreciate it. And we'll have you on again, and maybe we can talk some more stuff about it. But Thank you so much, everyone, for listening today. This is the Around the Districts podcast. Please comment, like, share our podcast, follow us on TikTok and YouTube, and we will see you in the next episode.